as a means to an end. You need to be a teacher because that's something that you want to do. That's something that you're passionate about. And a lot of these little Instagram thought teacher hoes, you could tell they not here to be teachers. Like, y'all could tell, right? Like, I hope I'm not the only one making this observation. Like, these people are trying to get clout. They're trying to build a following on the internet so that eventually they can get enough brand deals and they can make enough money online to quit their teacher jobs. Being a teacher is just something to get that salary, those benefits, that insurance, and I guess make content until they can literally bail out. I really hope you guys are seeing that. What up, everybody? I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. As you guys can tell by today's title, we're going to be talking about how teachers are dressing like whores in class. Oh, I'm sorry, was that too vulgar? We're going to be talking about how these teachers want to be harlots instead of educators. We actually did do a video highlighting this and touching on this topic a little bit, but you guys were like, nah, you need to do a dedicated video on it. And here it is. So if you guys are not aware, I'm actually a dance teacher. I used to be a full-time teacher. But then I resorted to working with nonprofits and after school programs and doing privates and doing lessons and stuff here and there. Because honestly, being a full-time teacher was taking way too much time away from me doing YouTube. And honestly, at the end of the day, I built this and I would like to continue to grow it. And I want to focus on growing my own dance nonprofit for underprivileged youth and adults. So realistically, being a full-time teacher would not allow that because it's like you're teaching 4, 5, 6 classes a day. You got to grade, you got to do all of that. So I do think I want to go back to the classroom, but like at a different type of capacity. I'm just looking for the right opportunity to do so. But I will say being a teacher now versus back then got to be way different because I don't remember my teachers like literally vying for attention the way these new teachers do. Like literally, I've had co-teachers cry over kids' opinions. Okay, I've had co-teachers and co-workers literally sit there and like vie for children's validation. And it's coming to the point where it's like, it's extremely concerning because it's like, since when did teachers ever cry over fucking kids? Like you're crying because an 8-year-old told you they didn't like your hair. You're complaining because a 12-year-old said that, you know, you're fat. Like, it's just crazy. They're fucking kids. Do your job and go home. So it's actually crazy to me that like these people be coming to school like it's a damn runway show or like they go into the club or they trying to find a man. Because at the end of the day, your job is to be someone that these kids can look up to, but most importantly, learn from. And a lot of these outfits are downright distracting and ridiculous. Now, of course, we've had a series of teachers over the years that have made us look twice and been like, why the hell are teachers dressing like this, right? But right now, we have Teacher Bay. And to be honest, this shit just gets on my freaking nerves because the people that are out here defending this are more than likely people who don't know how to dress, who never had a mother or a father tell them what they're wearing was disturbing, and more than likely think that life is all about just getting the male gaze because there's no reason why you think it is okay to dress like this in a child setting, okay? Or any type of setting that is professional for that matter. This is not appropriate for school. This is not appropriate for corporate. This is not appropriate for your goddamn self unless, again, you're going to the club or you're trying to dress to impress. You're going to brunch. You're going on a date or something like that. Like, and at the end of the day, you should not be dressed to impress for a man, but then you in a school building. Like, I genuinely don't understand why people are having a debate about this, right? And the first part of the debate is, oh, well, it's not necessarily what she's wearing. It's the fact that, you know, she got a lot of body, you know, she might have a BBL and it just look different on her. If you have a BBL, if you're 600 pounds, if you're one of those people that has a bigger build than other people, you know how to fucking dress it up, okay? You know what to wear to church. You know what to wear to work. You know what to wear to the club. I would hope. This is the thing, right? I believe in getting dressed everywhere you go. I'm literally the person with heels in the grocery store. So don't even take this as me saying, oh, y'all gotta dress like bums. That has nothing to do with it. I'm literally usually the best dressed in any building that I step into. So it has nothing to do with that. It's the fact of the matter of you shouldn't be wearing bodycons to work. It doesn't matter if everything is covered or whatever. If your skirt is literally like
too short, it's too short. The whole idea of, oh, well, what they be saying? If you put your hands down and it's like shorter or longer, you know what I'm talking about, right? There's a lot that goes into it, right? Even the sandals, I feel like the sandals not that serious. Like, but at the same time, you better be able to run in them if there's an emergency. Like, I feel like the sandals, they be doing a little too much. And it's crazy because, like, I just got a position as a dance coach. So I can technically just pull up in sweats. I could pull up in, like, bodysuits for the most part, but it's like I'm gonna be more than likely wearing sweaters over them, and I'm not even that curvy. I got a lot of thighs, but I ain't got no BBL butt or whatever. So like, I'm more than likely gonna wear my bodysuit, but also I'm a dance teacher. Like, I'm rolling on the floor, I'm exercising the entire day, like, and then yeah, like, I'm not gonna be wearing it like that. Like, the way these girls just got body cons on is crazy to me. Like, body cons in school is wow. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. Like, for those of you guys who know, you know. Like, half of this is not appropriate for school, let alone anything else for that matter that is a professional setting.
There's plenty of people out there that will show you like, hey, this is how you dress for school. This is how you dress for work. This is how you dress when you have a BBL. This is how you dress when you have a bigger butt. This is how you dress when you have bigger breasts. There's plenty of people out there making that content. So I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, it's just her body type. Nobody gives a fuck. Okay, nobody gives a fuck about the body type. There's plenty of teachers out there that are dressed appropriately with these different body types. Exhibit A. This is what you should be dressed like in school. Okay, even if you have bigger assets, you can still look appropriate for school. It has nothing to do with that. It's the fact that she out here doing Instagram poses while dressed like a harlot, thinking that this is how teachers should be dressed. And then she teaches middle school, and then she started talking about, oh, well, my kids don't look at me that way. Hey, you must not really teach middle school. Okay, you must not. Okay, middle school is my expert level. Okay, like, I love middle school. It's my favorite group of kids to teach. Next is high school. And I guarantee you, they are looking at you. They're probably talking shit about you. They're probably telling you appearance of how you be dressing. And the fact that, like, people be out here filming these videos, like, I'm very sure it's kids that are filming these videos for you. It's just too close for comfort, okay? Even as an influencer, I do not really film my kids like that. And if I do, I rarely post it. If I do, it's when I'll never see them again. And if I do, it's just rare, okay? A lot of y'all didn't even know I was a dance teacher because I do not post my kids. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's a violation of privacy for these kids. And then on top of that, having the kids film me, definitely something I've never done. Okay, you're in school to teach. You're not in school to literally be posting for social media. And that's another problem I have with a lot of these teachers. Okay, before we were talking about how these teachers are basically exploiting their students and they're out here basically vying for clout instead of teaching. Now we're mainly going to be talking about how a lot of these motherfuckers are attention whores, and they shouldn't be teachers anyway, especially if they're going to be dressed like this and sit here and justify the nonsense. Like, I just don't really understand how people think that dressing like this is appropriate for school or appropriate for anything for that matter. I will say, right, a lot of the teachers' outfits these days are actually not that bad. However, there's a few times and a few people that I just be like, bro, like, why would you wear this shit to school when you know you're teaching kids? For example, I had a co-teacher this summer that literally, she was practically naked all the time and she was heavier set. So it didn't really help. Like, she would wear booty shorts. She would wear spaghetti straps. And like, you guys are probably like, oh, Yvana, you're over exaggerating. Because it got to a point where I had to go to my supervisor and be like, bro, like, can you like do something about this? Because it's very distracting. And now like the kids are starting to say something about it. And it got to a point where I think they did speak to her about it and she made it a joke. Like, haha, you know, you can wear whatever you want, girl, because, you know, I'm never in dress code. And I used to just like, that's not funny. Like, it was like, literally, she was coming, like, believe me, y'all, she was coming to school practically naked. And it was like, why are we doing this? Why can't we wear clothes that cover our bodies? And it's one thing if you think you're sexy and you're attractive, you can wear what you want. That's not the point. The point is there's a way to dress for certain places. And realistically, you should not be naked in school. There's certain shoes you shouldn't be wearing in school. Even realistically, there's a lot of schools that don't even allow you to wear heels, right? But even if you are going to wear heels, they shouldn't be the strappy kind. They shouldn't be the heels that show your toes, right? They shouldn't be the heels that if in an emergency, you won't be able to run out the building or save a child from falling down the stairs, right? It should be appropriate shoes. When it comes to your skirts or your pants, they should not be body tight. They should not be like that. It's one thing for them to hug your body in a way, you know, be form-fitting, but like literally y'all out here wearing BBL jeans. Make it make sense. Your shirt should not be low cut, point blank, period. It should not be tight and hug all the right places. You're going to a school, you're not going to a gym. Then, you know, you have the people sitting there like, oh, well, you know, if her school doesn't have any issues with it, then, there's nothing that we can say. No, there's a lot that we can say, because realistically, if our school doesn't care about it, we have a bigger fucking problem. At the end of the day, you see kids get sent home all the time for their freaking hair choices, their outfit choices, and more. Therefore, the fact that they let teachers come to school like that is absolutely crazy. Like, there's no reason. And we should be concerned that there's schools that let teachers come to school dressed like this. Okay, there should be more of a concern that there are schools allowing teachers to teach kids while looking like they're advertising to be the next Playboy bunny. Okay, that actually should be a legitimate concern. It should not be one of those things where it's like, oh, no, it's not that it is that serious. Okay, it is that serious, because that means A, she works at a school or a district where the admin or the teachers or the principal or the supervisors, whatever, genuinely don't care. Or B, she works at one of them charter schools or whatever that's in the hood with disadvantaged youth, where it's like, you know what, we don't give a fuck. We just trying to get somebody in the classroom. And either way, both are a genuine issue. Y'all already know I did my series on working in the charter school, surviving Newark charter schools. And it's funny because, yeah, they literally didn't really give a fuck about anything, but they would tell you like, hey, yo, the shirt cut a little too low. Like, yo, them shorts, they a little too short. They'll tell you, and it's just like that school shit. They barely had curriculums for the kids. We already went through all of that. And they was telling you like, you probably shouldn't be wearing that. So I'm just a little confused as to why, like, oh, well, if the school don't care, then why should we? Because that's a bigger concern. You have the people like, oh, why does a teacher have a BBL? To be quite honest with you, as much as I do not agree with BBLs, I feel like anyone could get a BBL no matter what line of work they're in. But don't sit there and dress your body in a way that is going to attract the male gaze and distract children. That's just my bottom line. I don't care if your BBL is bigger than Nicki Minaj's. At the end of the day, just know how to dress appropriately for school, for work, for church, and everything else in between. For me, it's just a major pet peeve to see people not dress for the right occasion. It's another thing to be like overdressed or underdressed. That's not my problem. My problem was when like people really be out here naked and we in a corporate meeting. Like people out here wearing jeans and a t-shirt and this is supposed to be a business meeting. Like you out here wearing spaghetti straps and booty shorts and we in church. Like I don't understand it. Like y'all should know how to dress for the right occasions and stop making excuses for people who don't. Just because you probably don't know how to dress and you think that this is appropriate doesn't necessarily mean it's appropriate. There are a lot of things that have been allowed throughout history and allowed through social norms that actually don't make sense and should not be allowed, but it keeps happening so people think it's normal. Just because it happens doesn't mean it's normal and doesn't mean it's okay. It means that a lot of people ain't saying shit and people need to say shit. And I'm one of the people that's going to say shit. Realistically, let's be real. And a lot of people don't talk about this part, but I'm going to say it because nobody else is going to say it. The reason a lot of these teachers think it's okay to dress like this and come to school like this and do whatever it is that they want with these kids as far as recording them and wearing what they want, whatever, is because a lot of the parents are not involved in these kids' lives. Okay, that's why a lot of these kids can't fucking read. Realistically, I knew how to read in pre-K, okay? Because I have people in my life trying to teach me how to read. I also watched a lot of TV and watched a lot of subtitles. That's how I learned how to speak Creole for real. Like my parents spoke Creole with me, but they ended up taking me to Haiti and I didn't know shit that was going on. So I had to rely on like Haiti subtitles and stuff to learn Creole. And then when I went to Haiti, I paid all my cousins pennies. Like literally, I brought my little piggy bank and I paid them like, hey, teach me another word. Like that's how I learned how to like speak Creole. And then I came back to America and I told my parents like, stop speaking that English with me because I'm gonna learn English here, but like I need to learn Creole because I can't be around Haitian people and not know what the hell they talking about. Feel me? So it's like, it comes to a point where it's like, if your parents are not involved, if your family is not involved, if you have people in your life, adults who are not involved with your development, you're going to fall through the cracks. If you have a kid that cannot read, I feel like it's everybody's fault. Okay, it's the school's fault. It's your fault as a parent. It's your sister's fault, your brother's fault. Like, I think it's everybody's fault because at the end of the day, it takes a village. And there's no reason why the village, not one person in that village, okay, from again, the higher ups to the people in your house cannot be teaching you how to read. Some way, somehow, you know how to use a phone. You know how to use a tablet. Like, that's absolutely ridiculous to me. And you'll see people try to make the excuse, oh, well, like, most adults can't read, past 6th grade level. Bitch, these kids can't read on any level. That's not what we're talking about. And just because something has been normalized does not mean it is okay to regurgitate. Does not mean that it is okay, period. There's no reason in 2025 with all the technology and all the information at our fingertips that people cannot read past a 6th grade level. But at least they could read past some sort of level. A lot of these new kids coming up can't read whatsoever. Like, I had kids that couldn't even spell their own names right. Like, that's how bad this is. And it's just kind of crazy how people, oh, well, it's not that bad. It is that bad. And these parents need to start getting involved, because if parents were coming to these school board meetings, if parents were actually calling in and making complaints and saying, hey, my kid told me that her teacher had a mini skirt on today, I don't think that's appropriate, I guarantee you these teachers wouldn't be doing it. But you see, these parents don't care because, oh, well, I send my kid to school for 6, 8, 10, 12 hours a day. Therefore, everything should be happening the way it needs to happen. And I shouldn't have to do all of these things and go to the school and oversee all of this shit because, my kid should, just know everything. My kid should just be in the right hands all the time. Unfortunately, if you are not prepared to be a parent, you shouldn't be a parent, because at the end of the day, part of being a parent is actually overseeing the things that you put them in. Whether we're talking about cheerleading, dance, basketball, football, school, you have to oversee everything that's going on. You have to pay attention to who the coach is, what the coach wears, what the coach's values are, what the coach is actually teaching your kid. Literally, it's actually crazy, especially when it comes to the education system, how much these people really do not oversee what's going on. I remember when I became a dance teacher at that school, they didn't actually make sure that I can dance. They didn't actually ask me what I was going to be teaching these kids. I could have been teaching these kids devil worship dances. Nobody would fucking know, because it's y'all didn't take the time to actually do so. Not one parent came in to see me. Okay, not one parent. There's only literally maybe 2 parents that actually emailed me about their kids' grades because they were failing because they wasn't doing jack shit. And I was never giving an A for effort. Okay, I even had worksheets for kids that didn't want to dance. And these kids didn't want to dance, didn't want to do the worksheets, so they were failing. Okay, so some of them, not even some, 2 of them, out of the 100 kids I had, 2 of the parents actually called me up, emailed me, was like, hey, what can my kid do to improve? The rest of them ain't give a fuck, okay? And it's not even just me, right? These were the kids that were failing English. They were failing math. They were failing history. They were failing gym. They were failing breathing. Again, half of these kids could barely spell their names correct. So it's just I genuinely don't get why people are not taking this more seriously and why people are not using their critical thinking skills to understand how this is happening and how these teachers are able to get away with this. A lot of it has to do with the fact that a lot of people have kids in school that they do not check on. They don't know their teachers' names, okay? They don't know what teacher teaches what. They don't know how they're doing in classes or whatever. They just see, oh, my kid's going to school every day. And then you see the final grade at the end of the year. Either it's good or it's bad. If it's good, you don't pay no attention to it. You don't pay it no mind. If it's bad, all of a sudden, it's the school's fault. You raising all hell. You calling the school because how the hell does my kid have an F and they're in school all day? Do you know if your kid's really in school all day? Do you really know where your children are? A lot of y'all don't. And that's part of the problem. There's a lot of parents that are just extremely negligent these days. These parents out here want to be their child's friend instead of actually being their child's parent. You have a lot of people out there that had kids way too early. Having kids at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, even 22, 23, 24 is sometimes not really conducive. And that's another conversation we need to have. Because a lot of times when you're having kids that young, you are concerned with being at work all the time because you have to grind because you're a baby and you ain't got shit. You didn't graduate. You don't have a trade. You don't have a business. You don't have a life. So how are you going to provide for a kid? I'll wait. Exactly. That's another conversation a lot of people don't want to have. Oh, well, I want to be married by 25. I want to have kids by 25. With what? Okay. A lot of y'all could barely graduate a county college. A lot of y'all damn near can't graduate from a 4-year. A lot of y'all refuse to climb a corporate ladder. A lot of y'all don't want to work at a warehouse, so you can't even make it to a logistics manager. You don't want to work at McDonald's and make it to regional. You don't want to do anything. And that's what people are not really understanding. We've developed a society that's lazy as fuck. Okay, everybody wants shit, but nobody's realizing the work it takes to get there. You want a kid by 24. You want a kid by 25. You want a kid by 26. That's young as shit. A lot of us have not accomplished anything by that time. I accomplished a lot by that time, but at the same time, I lost it all and had to gain it back. And now I'm 30. You feel me? A lot of people don't understand. You should not be having kids until you're ready. And I know a lot of people be like, oh, well, you're not always going to be ready to have kids. I think legitimately, and this is an unpopular opinion, I feel like a lot of people be saying that because they weren't ready. And they think that everybody should just have kids when they have kids. And, oh, well, you're never going to be ready. No. There's things that you can do to prepare yourself. There's money you can be saving. There's experiences and things that you should be doing to prepare yourself to be a wife, to be a husband, to have a kid, to have a career. But Instead, we listen to people talking about, it's okay, you're never going to be ready. No, nigga, you wasn't ready, and now you saying that to me so that you can make yourself feel better. Don't play with me, because having a kid that young leads to problems in itself. I'm not saying that all people having kids that young are irresponsible parents, but I'm saying a lot of the people I know that have like the younger parents are the ones that kind of get slipped through the cracks. Even the ones that are very, very attentive, unfortunately, a lot of them have to work them 12-hour shifts, right? A lot of them are not in the home. They have to travel for it. They're doing all of this and all of that. And it's unfortunate because their kids are the ones that suffer. You know, a lot of us sit here and we think to ourselves like, oh, you know, my mom's always at work. Oh, it doesn't matter if this kid doesn't have support. They're going to have the village. And for some kids, the village comes through. But unfortunately, a lot of times the village doesn't. And this is where we have teachers dressing like fucking hoes and harlots and thinking that it's okay. This is where we have admin just testing these kids and not teaching them a damn thing. This is what we have kids not learning how to read, but some way, somehow know how to use every piece of technology out there because no one is overseeing it. And at the end of the day, you as a parent is the only person that can properly oversee your child. Okay, it doesn't matter how many hours they're in school, how many hours they're with the coach, how many hours they're in this program. At the end of the day, you're the parent. And you should be making sure that the kid is being taught by people that know how to dress and know how to teach and know what the fuck they're doing. We got teachers out here more concerned of doing TikToks with their kids. We have teachers out here more concerned with dancing in their classroom on off periods. We have teachers out there more concerned with their following instead of being concerned with being an actual teacher. Because what y'all need to understand is a lot of these teachers don't want to be teachers. A lot of these teachers just became teachers because they could not make it in their career field, okay? You know how people be saying those who can't do teach? That's a real thing. And that's why, especially like in the arts, it's a very, very real thing. Art teachers, dance teachers, top 5, sometimes some of the meanest teachers. Like I remember there was a teacher that got fired from the school that I was at because they called a kid a bitch. Swear to God, like literally cussed out a kid and everything. And in general, like that teacher had a reputation for being mean. Part of the reason I didn't take dance seriously as a kid was because a lot of the dance teachers I had were mean as fuck. Okay, they didn't let us have any autonomy. They were just rude people. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with y'all. Like we didn't have no choice. It was just like dance or die. Like it was crazy. And it's like, I didn't realize that until I became an adult. And for a lot of people that are teachers now, a lot of them ended up being, again, teachers because they could not do. And a lot of them also became teachers because they're looking for teachers because no one wants to be a teacher. And it's like, oh, well, you know, I can't find a career in engineering, can't find a career in dance, can't find a career in music, can't find a career in this, that, and the third. Let me become a teacher. A lot of them do not have the passion to teach. And realistically, being a teacher is something you have to have the passion for because it does not pay much. Okay. Being a teacher is something you need to have the passion for because at the end of the day, you're dealing with other people's children. And unfortunately, listen, I know a lot of my students are probably watching this right now. A lot of y'all are asses. A lot of y'all are mean. A lot of y'all are literally like not worth teaching. And I hate to say it like that. Okay, let me not say it like that. That was mean. A lot of y'all are not pleasant to deal with. Okay, a lot of y'all make life so much harder and it doesn't really need to be that much harder. And for a lot of people, they cannot take that. For a lot of people, teaching kids takes an emotional toll and none of these teachers get paid enough to be treated the way that they are treated. Okay, at the end of the day, teachers deserve to get paid more. Just like paramedics, like there's certain things, right? Certain career paths where I'm like, how do you only get paid that? I think therapists should be paid more. I think teachers should be paid more. I think paramedics should be paid more. Like there's a lot of different jobs that I'm like, bro, you deal with so much and you get paid so little. Like you deserve to get paid way more than you get paid. Like it doesn't really make any sense. So it's like, I feel like being a teacher is not something you should just be doing as a means to an end. You need to be a teacher because that's something that you want to do. That's something that you're passionate about. And a lot of these little Instagram thought teacher hoes, you could tell they not here to be teachers. Like y'all could tell, right? Like I hope I'm not the only one making this observation. Like these people are trying to get clout. They're trying to build a following on the internet so that eventually they can get enough brand deals and they can make enough money online to quit their teacher jobs. Being a teacher is just something to get that salary, those benefits, that insurance, and I guess make content until they can literally bail out. I really hope you guys are seeing that. Because if you're not seeing that, then what are we really doing here? Like, I really hope that we figured that out by now. Like, these teachers generally do not care. And it really does hurt, especially like when I get paired with a teacher like that. Like, I've been paired with teachers that is just like, what are we doing here? Like, what? Like, I've had teachers that were great, like co-teachers, coworkers that were awesome. You could tell they loved kids. You know, you could tell they had the passion. And then I've dealt with teachers where it's like, why are we really here? Like, are we here because we can't find a job? Are we here because we have nothing to do? Are we here because we were forced? Because it's like, it's giving, I don't want to be here. And if you don't want to be here, I don't want to be here. So it's like, I end up having to do all the work because it's like, I don't have time. Like, I'll do my job and your job because I don't got time to be dealing with the fact that you don't want to be here and dealing with your complaints, you crying over kids. Like, it's just, I cannot. Okay, so I say all this to say, at the end of the day, until we get a grip as a society in terms of being serious with our education system, it's only going to go downhill from here. I made an unpopular opinions video. I don't know if that's going to come out before this, but I made an unpopular opinions video and I said, like, I think the government's overall goal is to make us stupid. I genuinely feel like they want us not to go to school. They want us to put less importance on education so that we will have nothing. Okay, the younger generation is like, oh, fuck school. School's a scam. Okay, it's all fun and games until you have nothing. Okay, it's all fun and games. So all you have is a GED or a high school diploma and you can't go nowhere with it because everyone else that knew the importance of education, that knew the importance of gaining skills in the real world, passes you up on promotions because you said school was stupid. And I see it happening now to all the people that I was in high school with, that I was in college with, that dropped out or whatever. Oh, well, I'm just going to work and stack up. Now they got babies that they can't feed because they only making $18 an hour. They only making $22 an hour because they don't got the skill set, because they didn't go to school. Oh, this person came here 2 years ago. I've been here for 5 years. I should be getting the promotion. Nope, that person has a degree. They'll be getting that promotion. Doesn't matter that you've been there for 5 years. Y'all think this shit is a game. It's not. I've seen it happen to my parents. I've seen it happen to friends. I've seen it happen to so many people. You think all you need is money. You think, oh, all I need is experience. Unfortunately, education and skills do matter. You don't have to get a 4-year, but you got to get something. You cannot just graduate, in the United States anyway, from high school with a GED or a high school diploma and think you're about to go somewhere. You're not. Very rarely are people able to just have that, work somewhere, work their way up, and make a fuck ton. It's not common. And unfortunately, people on TikTok, Instagram, keep telling y'all that y'all gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars with Forex and courses and digital products. I kid you not. You're gonna lose your money and you're gonna lose your time. Go touch a glass. Go do something. Okay? Or you're gonna end up like these teachers having to dress naked to make content and hoping to be the next big thing. You're hoping to be the next teacher big. When it happens, make sure you remember to come back to this video. Because I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I'm going to say it again. With that being said, thank you guys so much for coming to my TED Talk. I want to know down below, have you ever seen teachers dressing like whores in public? Okay, damn, maybe I should be nicer. Let me know down below. Do you know any teachers that are dressing inappropriately for school? Because, yeah, I know plenty. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that, yeah, like people just don't care and people don't pay attention. And if people did, then maybe they would stop dressing like that. Also, let me know, do you think that any of the outfits I featured were inappropriate or not? Why or why not? Because honestly, I'm sorry. I ain't even about to say, I can't even respect the opinion of any of these being like, okay, because it's not. I'm sorry. With that being said, if you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that. And I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye.